Welcome to Karma's Harvest. Syria believed she could step on the help to climb the social ladder, but she forgot that those who look down on others often trip over their own pride. What happens when the woman you framed for theft turns out to be the most powerful person you've ever met? This is a story about a greed that blinded a daughter-in-law, and a truth that was served on a silver platter. Syria had always felt like an outsider in the prestigious Thorne household. Her mother-in-law, Evelyn, was a woman of refined tastes and a sharp tongue, but she possessed a secret, a hidden safe in her study, containing nearly $50,000 in emergency cash, and a collection of vintage heirloom jewelry. To Syria, that safe wasn't a security measure, it was a target. She owed debts from a lifestyle she couldn't afford, and she needed a scapegoat. That scapegoat was Martha, the quiet, silver-haired housekeeper, who had served Evelyn for 3 years. Martha was invisible to Syria, a mere shadow in a uniform who spent her days polishing silver and cooking meals that Evelyn praised far too much for Syria's liking. One rainy Tuesday, Syria made her move. While Evelyn was at her bridge club, Syria picked the lock, emptied the cash, and took a sapphire brooch that had been in the family for generations. Then, with trembling hands, she tucked a single, smaller diamond earring from the collection into the side pocket of Martha's worn leather handbag in the servants' quarters. When Evelyn returned and discovered the theft, the house turned into a whirlwind of accusations. Syria played the role of the concerned daughter-in-law perfectly. She suggested they check everyone's belongings, just to be sure. And when the diamond earring tumbled out of Martha's bag, the silence in the room was deafening. Martha didn't cry. She didn't scream. She simply looked at Syria with eyes that seemed to see through every lie. Evelyn, heartbroken and furious, fired Martha on the spot, threatening her with the police. If she ever showed her face in the neighborhood again, Martha left with nothing but her dignity, leaving behind a small leather-bound notebook in the kitchen. For a week, Syria felt untouchable. She began paying off her debts, claiming she'd won the money through smart investments. But a strange tension filled the house. Evelyn stopped eating. She became obsessed with finding that leather-bound notebook Martha had left behind. Syria didn't understand why her mother-in-law was so distraught over a maid's scribbles. One afternoon, Evelyn burst into Syria's room while she was out, searching frantically for the notebook. Convinced Syria might have tidied it away, instead of a notebook, Evelyn found something else. Underneath the loose floorboard in Syria's walk-in closet, she found the stack of cash and the sapphire brooch. The betrayal hit Evelyn harder than the theft itself. But the real revelation was just beginning. Evelyn hadn't hired Martha because she needed a maid. She had spent years trying to persuade Martha, the legendary Chef M, who had once prepared state dinners for presidents, to come out of retirement. Martha was a billionaire in her own right, a woman who owned half the commercial real estate in the city, but lived a quiet life of service to keep her hands busy and her heart humble. Evelyn hadn't been treating her as the help. She had been treating her as a mentor and a guarded treasure. When Evelyn realized what Syria had done, she didn't just call the police, she called the people Martha used to serve. Within hours, Syria's world began to crumble. Her bank accounts were flagged, her social invitations were revoked, and the very walls of the Thorne mansion felt like they were closing in. But the most terrifying part wasn't the looming shadow of the law, it was the realization that Martha was currently sitting in a high-rise penthouse, watching the news of Syria's investment fraud break across the headlines. Syria had thought she was destroying a servant, but she had actually declared war on a titan. As the police arrived at the front door, Evelyn looked at Syria with a cold, piercing pity. "You thought she was small because she chose to be quiet," Evelyn whispered. "Now you're going to find out how loud her silence can be." But just as the handcuffs clicked, a black sedan pulled up to the driveway. A man in a suit stepped out, handing Evelyn a letter. It was from Martha. The contents of that letter would not only seal Syria's fate, but reveal a secondary secret. Evelyn had been hiding a secret that would change the Thorne family legacy forever. What was written in Martha's final letter? And why did Evelyn turn pale the moment she read the first line? The harvest is only beginning, and some seeds grow into a forest of consequences. Stay tuned for part 2, where the true identity of the Thorne family wealth is revealed, and Saria learns that some debts can never be paid in cash. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't miss the shocking conclusion to Martha's revenge.